We do have Hiko, Elige, Nitro, Kusta, and Simple. Simple, the man of the hour, is the first one to die in this matchup. So let's look at it so far with them setting up the last two guys on Catwalk and the other two working towards Long A.
Yeah, Shroud's pulling back, caught in between both. Freakazoid, you can see there in the pit. Anyone's going to go forward, it's going to be Hiko with that Glock. The only man to have a presence at Long, still at least Nitro and Kusta set up. They are without Simple. Smoke going to go down, flash out. Elige to jump over, and he's going to push up. He's fighting Shroud. Shroud taking this battle alone. Will he win it? He actually is going to go down, so they find Elige. Quick little pop flash through that smoke. Skadoodle not going to actually commit, but still comes away with the frag onto Elige, as that smoke wasn't really that great to block off the CT angle. And Hiko did take down Freak, but here's Stewie back on this retake. Two people for Team Liquid alive in the post plant. Hiko will find Stewie, so they even it up. Nothing has. Oh my gosh, he's gonna lose the battle with Nitro over at the quad box, and Hiko just still killing people. He comes up Long alone and finds 3 frags.
Yeah, that was big for Elige getting that entry on the Shroud. Shroud couldn't actually back off and get in Long A with Freakazoid, so that kind of gave Liquid the sight. Cloud9 did a pretty good battle to bring it back. You saw 3 guys chime in there to reel it back into a close situation, but Hiko shuts him out with the hat trick. So big push around victory here for Liquid to kick it off, instantly.
Buying down to 0. It will be a double scout for the CT side. Skadoodle not buying anything here just to save his economy for an AWP a little bit later. Kusta looking for an entry at Long A, spotted 2 guys crossing over towards that pit. Decides to fall back immediately right after. So Freakazoid with the CZ. 1 tag coming through, courtesy of nothing onto Kusta, now down to 19 HP. As now at least that information is given away, but that double scout setup that they have is actually both inside the site, both inside mid. But a nice shot by Skadoodle to open things up with the silenced USB headshot onto Simple, again the first one to die in a round.
Yeah, they're just not even going to let Simple play Counter-Strike, right? That's how you beat Team Liquid. At least early on here, Freakazoid holding a close angle, but he will go down the jump peak from Nitro and that UMP. Elige also taking down Skadoodle through something. It must have been the box right in front of him as he was taking the battle to those players in B. Nothing is still there with the scout. And the force buy, yeah, everyone buying except for Skadoodle, of course, left with 1,800 bucks. He wants to get out through that op early. Stewie did grab 1 more kill before being silenced by Hiko. And now it's up to Shroud, gets a quick dink, but Hiko finds a 2nd kill of the round, and they're able to cross and plant that bomb. Nothing gonna cause him damage. Maybe hold on to the scout.
Alright, so nothing. Looking back towards that catwalk. Probably knows that Elige is out there, but 3 scout kills could actually clutch it here. He misses the first one right now, though, as he spots one towards that A ramp, but that is going to be Hiko trying to hold it out. It is planted in a site where Kusta could see it from the platform, but he's playing with the Mag-10 long range, but not needed. MP7 has stopped nothing, and that's going to be 2 unanswered rounds for Liquid.
Yeah, Hiko up to 6 kills right now, and I was actually kind of concerned coming into this game how Liquid would look, because they've been kind of through a marathon right now. They played our best of 3 against CLG, then they went and played 2 BO1s against CLG, and then they're right into this best of 3. Meanwhile, Cloud9's been sitting out since way earlier today, but it doesn't seem like, you know, Liquid look tired or rusty or anything like that. They're definitely connecting their shots, and they're looking good.
So right now, sorry, go ahead, Joey. Go ahead, Joey.
Gosh,
go ahead,
fans.
Joey. Go ahead, Joey. Put your cans.
I want to put my cans in the air, don't deny me. As, there's, I mean, why did I even take this round, right? Cloud9 doesn't have really anything to do with it. They've got no armor, a couple PT-50s have come out. Hiko's deleting them with grenades, now Elige coming in with the AK. And it looked like it was a bit of a stack over on the A site. But Team Liquid, they're confident enough, they can just run into it and deal with it.
Bet you're glad you got that round, Joey. It's like being the valedictorian of summer school. Like you were up there, but it was kind of being on the top of a pile, you know. So 3-0 start here for Liquid, but here comes the first buy round. It's gonna be a single lot setup from Cloud. I'm not gonna get that double op on the Stewie 2K just yet. Not really the money for it, I suppose, but you could see that later on in the half. So keep an eye out for that, I suppose. And let's see how this first round is gonna go. Looks like it's gonna be Liquid open up pretty default.
Pretty default they did is they're trying to get that pick towards that mid side. They boosted Skadoodle all the way towards Catwalk as well, and they do have 2 men to look down towards lower. Elige is about to peek out right now. Pre-firing a shot. Drop shot's not coming out. Now finally it is being rung, but really nobody connected as of yet towards that lower B. So they're forcing now the Cat players to fall back up inside that A bomb site, and it's going to be held a little bit more of a default spot. Unorthodoxly though, they kind of leave the long A for control for Team Liquid.
Yeah, they've got nobody down there. It's just Freakazoid at the car, and he's watching it. He's got really no fallback position. So he gets pressured. I mean, it will have to be Shroud to help him, but Shroud's got everything to do, right? Skadoodle needs help. I guess Skadoodle at this point will just drop off, but Shroud helping middle and will be the backup. More Freakazoid. Team Liquid are still playing it slow. You got Elige over in middle, and you've got your man Simple in the B tunnel, so they maintain that map control, making sure nothing, no one's going to flank them, and 3 players ready to go. So they are vying for the long control. This will kind of maybe best the strat that Cloud9 has set up over there in A.
Well, yeah, it's definitely going to be tough for Freakazoid because, like I said, they're playing it very passively. He's spotting it from the car, but he only has an M4. So as soon as he spots the first few guys, even if he misses the first shot, he's going to be stuck in the corner where they could just wait with the op there in the hands of Kusa to try to take him down. So here comes that first execution, playing it very passively, Molly to force him out, but he still manages to get the kill. And then finally it's traded out by Elige and Hiko. So it's going to be a 3 versus 3 with them trying to cross inside this A bomb site. It is open for business as we're slamming through the smoke. Hiko is down to 3 HP. Shroud almost got him there with that spray. So he's going to try to come in for that plant, but still looking good for Cloud9 for a retake.
And nothing on Cat. Actually, everybody on Cat. Fire has gone down, delaying them a little bit. Only 2 flashes left in terms of utility for Team Liquid. Cloud9 have nothing. They're just going to have to move in and hit their shots. That's all they can do. Try to trade effectively going in on this retake. And, well, that's going to be tough. As Kusta and Hiko have taken down 2 men, there's nothing with the response, but now left 1 versus 2. Elige close up. This is the man that's unknown. 10-second defuse, no kit. Elige not going to let that happen. Comes away with a double. Team Liquid, another round.
Yeah, we didn't actually get to see the frag on stream, I don't think, but Elige came up catwalk by himself and killed Skadoodle. And that was a massive frag, because that was really the only help that Freakazoid was really going to have, right? When he was stuck on the game helper, he did actually come up with 1 kill, but the frag that Elige got secured the A side. It ensured the fact that Liquid would actually get the bomb down, and that was probably the most impact frag of the round, so good job to Elige.
Now Freakazoid trying to peek out. Simple trying to spot him, but he actually spot Shroud. So he spotted him rather with the AWP. Couldn't get the shot. Freakazoid's playing just around the corner. He's about to peek out. What a shot by Simple to get the headshot moving in. Hiko moving out second. Getting a second kill for Shroud. So Long A is now under control for Team Liquid. With nothing, just forced to play passively now. About to go for a peek with the P250 and no armor. Whiff shot by Simple. But at this point, they have no armor to work with either. So should be the easy round here for Liquid. Now 5 guys about to stream through towards this Long A, actually make that 4. The 5th player is actually still holding spawn, and that's Elige there. Spawning him at lower B, that is Stewie2K, looking to save pretty much this P250 armor and a flash combo.
1150. It's not a lot of money, but any little bit helps when you're on the CT side and you're losing this many rounds. They will, of course, after this, have their max round bonus, loss bonus. Some questionable flashes here. Nothing was trying for it twice over at long, and it didn't really work out either time. I mean, it afforded him 1 peek and some information. The second one flash went too far, and he just got shot down. So no chance there for Cloud9. 5-0 for Liquid.
I actually wonder if we were going to see the double out setup this time around, just because times were getting a little bit dark here for Cloud9, but they're not going to go to it just yet. They're going to keep the single out setup here on Skadoodle, who has yet to really find much with it. And in fact, we got Shroud not doing so well, neither is Freakazoid. So all the guys that have been doing well so far this tournament for Cloud9 haven't really stepped up just yet. They need them to do so, because Liquid, they're a very dangerous team when they have the momentum going for themselves.
Second real good round here for Cloud9. Hopefully they could turn it around, but we do see Liquid slowly creeping out towards this mid side. They spotted nothing crossing on the left side of the double doors. Counter flash is coming through. One of them blinded. Nothing about the peek up. Lines up both of them, but Elige and Nitro both go to work at the window and the B entrance respectively. B bomb side is now open. Bomb is going to get planted, and that means the last 3 guys will have to save.
What was happening there from nothing? I guess he saw a man jumping and expected him to land and like move up to window, so he kept aiming there, but he was way off the mark with that spray. Maybe should have had 1, maybe 2 kills, but gets nothing.
That's a difficult round right there, because that's one of those rounds where the B players knew their rotate was so far away, right? There was no one in CT spawn. Their closest guy was Game Helper. At least they're going to be able to potentially save this out. Skadoodle has found a couple of kills here in CT spawn, but yeah, it's one of those things where the only way that round gets won is if Stewie2K and nothing make a play, and both of them just went down with no frags. So very dominant round there from Liquid.
So at least out of that, though, they're still able to salvage their rifles. Out of 3, they were able to keep 2 post-bomb plan and also hurt 4 players at Team Liquid by dropping them with the M4 and the AWP respectively. But then again, that's 6 rounds in a row for Team Liquid, plenty of money for them to go and justify that hunt, that last round. But it didn't come successful for them, so still maybe a glimmer of hope for Cloud9 with the 2 rifles that they saved, because we're going to have a 4th spy coming in here with the rest of them getting that bonus money.
We saw some crazy op battles in that Team Liquid versus TSM match. There was like almost 4 ops in every single rifle round.
Double op T-side, by the way, eh?
Yeah, they were doing it all day yesterday. They even, was it them or TSM that actually put out triple ops on the T side, and they didn't throw them away after they
I wouldn't be surprised, but that would probably be TSM.
But yeah, it was TSM actually. So it was Sempus, Automatic, and who am I forgetting? Who had the other op?
Probably.
Adren,
yes, right. No, he plays for Liquid, guys. What do you mean?
Alright, so let's go back with the action. 6-0 is our score. Why are you trying to confuse us here?
Well, he does in 2 weeks.
So now we're seeing the terrorist team slowly creeping up towards that upper B, 2 at lower. They're going to try to go for that mid to B split. So nothing will have to come up big here with the FAMAS. Only has a smoke as well. A crossfire set up at least for Skadoodle, but that smoke prevents him from actually supporting nothing. Nothing leans towards that left side, spots them both. Smoke to actually block that entrance towards that B side. He might be able to run through this, actually, because they've actually put Suitoke out of position. Still manages to get the kill until Elish. Retaliated back by Kusta. So the B-bomb side, once again, has been cleared out. But Shroud, Freakazoid, and Skadoodle are still pretty close on a rotation for the retake.
It was a real bloody war over on that B-bomb site, but they've got in, they've got the bomb down. 3-on-3 now for the post plant, and you look at the utility for Cloud9, you got 2 flashes. 1 more smoke here for Kusta, so he can either go for the door or the window. What will he choose? Taking their battles. Flash goes in, a little behind Simple, so it wasn't even very effective. He gets that op shot onto the Shroud. Skadoodle still trying to get hit through the window. Misses on the Hiko as he just steps up the boxes and then going even further than that. Out the window and connecting a shot onto Freakazoid's face.
Cloud9 having a tough time right now out here, and Liquid, another mid to B split. This time they had Skadoodle support with the op and CT spawn. He was able to find a frag, but nothing, not able to come up with anything. Still only able to come up with 1, so it's just Liquid overpowering Cloud9. They're not doing anything special. It's pretty basic stuff, but they're just out-fragging their opponent left and right.
So now you see Team Liquid playing aggressively out towards that long. Already 3 guys streaming out, including the bomb, including a 4th now, with Kusta join up with the party. Simple watching that flank from outside long, but it looks like it's going to be a 5-man cross very soon here for Team Liquid.
Well, we've seen them do this a few times, but they usually maintained cat control. Now they don't have it at all. And you can see nothing and Skadoodle are about to come up catwalk. They're already through middle. They're kind of seeing everything, but doesn't matter because Team Liquid have completely taken this A site, and it's yet again another retake for Cloud9. They don't even have a defuse kit. Got a couple flashes and some smokes, but it's not going to be an easy one, and this is a hard decision to make, especially when you're already down 7-0, but I think it's the right one. Just back off and save.
Oh yeah, for sure. But what seems to not be going well here for Cloud9, Dust? I mean, 5-man crossing from Team Liquid at long, and they only played pretty much 1 guy on catwalk watching it.
Yeah, I mean, that was just them trying something different. I mean, that was the first time I really saw them get aggressive at catwalk. I guess they had Skadoodle with an op in a semi-aggressive position a few rounds ago. But, I mean, Liquid hasn't really been doing much at long A up until that round. I think maybe the pistol round was really one of the only, maybe 1-gun round early on where
it was all
they had an A split.
Pistol and anti-ecos, they kept going
yeah. So it's one of those things where I feel like Cloud9 was just trying something different. They wanted to be at catwalk with 2 players because if Liquid went mid to B again, which has obviously been quite vulnerable, Cloud9's won a couple of rounds off of that, they would have had a faster rotate to actually flank behind the B push, right? Plus you can still turn around and hopefully defend the long A cross from catwalk. Or set yourself up at least for a retake. Of course, none of that really happened. They just lost too much control, and they even elected, just because their money's been so poor, to just kind of sit back and save guns and just wait to play this round. And we are going to see a timeout, which undoubtedly is a tactical from Cloud9, right? And yeah, they had some thinking to do. I think the only thing they haven't really tried is the double op, but they can't really afford it yet, so they have to come up with something else until then.
Only time they could really maybe go for that double op is the following round. Should they lose this one here, because there are 8 rounds that they lost in a row. This is actually quite difficult for them right now to try to get something done. I mean, they're getting pretty much outcalled from how Team Liquid are currently executing. But on the other end, you're looking at Team Liquid going for a double off setup on T side, which is not something that I usually see often. I don't know about you here, Joey, if that's something that you guys actually see when you guys are casting.
Well, we've been seeing it from
matches.
Team Liquid for sure. On their dust too. On both sides, they'll take the double ops, and on a lot of maps, they'll take double ops just because what we talked about in the pregame, right? They got Kusta and Simple. You can afford the ops. Why are you not going to go for them? Both of them have crazy playmaking potential with them.
So 8-0 our score, and there's still, if you're looking at the stream right now, ladies and gentlemen, there's actually 4 players, or 3 players with 10K. You do have Simple with 7,600 and Nitro with 4K, so they still have plenty of money. So despite Liquid, if they're able to get something out of this round, coming out of this tactical, and they're able to win this round here, Liquid could still buy, and they could put Cloud9 back on a save for maybe 1 or 2 rounds in a row, and then it's a steep uphill battle for Cloud9 in terms of trying to manage that money.
I think Cloud9 need full nades and kits, right? We've actually seen them get into some decent positions where they had a chance to go for the retake, but then they've got, at that point, absolutely no utility. Like, a flash, no kit, time's already gone down. We saw it a couple times at B. If they can just get a full round and have more utility to use on their retakes, they might feel more confident to go for them.
That's a good point as well. I mean, it's really hard to kind of just pin down one thing that's stopping Cloud9 from being successful. I mean, it's really just Liquid all out playing a better game right now, and I thought this would be kind of an even map. I thought we might see a close game, kind of a shootout, as both these teams have been known throughout this tournament and just throughout recent times to be kind of the more skilled lineups in the region. And I mean, Cloud9 are just kind of laying over right now.
8-7.5, I'm calling it now.
All right.
Well, early this round, we had a 2. Yeah, indeed, we saw it. But then again, it was TSM in the lead and not Team Liquid in the lead. And at this point, it's not Cloud9 that's in the lead either. So early this round, 2 guys with an op trying to peek towards mid. And they saw actually 2 guys cross over. Stewie2K is already down to 26 HP, so I guess he got clipped trying to cross over. And they're still even playing solo B in the back of the platform with 26 HP.
So that's the adjustment, right? It's kind of leaving nothing more, a little bit mid-prone.
And they actually have been playing that quite passively, where Liquid was able to take control of that. So at this point now, they are trying to take control of Catwalk. They did flash from lower B up towards that Cat for Nitro to peek out. Very passive play for Cloud9 this time for Catwalk. So it's going to have to be that retake play if they can get something done here. So it's going to have to be Shroud that's going to have to come up big as we're about to close into this round on the A-bomb site.
Hiko still wants to be that isolated figure here for Team Liquid. He's backed off. He might be that one prong of attack over there at long if they happen to go that way, and he's been winning every single battle. Hiko is 14-2 right now, which is insane. And here comes that Cat push. Skadoodle's gone up in the box on CT spawn, but CT is smoked off so that Elige can drop off Cat and push up. And he's going to get Skadoodle running through the smoke. Heard those feet. Shoots him in the head. It's up to Shroud. He's the only one here. I guess one further back is Freakazoid, but not in a great spot. Hiko's going to be checking everything and probably will win this battle because he's been winning it consistently. And, of course, Caster's Curse, right? I say it. Freakazoid comes away with 2 kills, but even still, it's Liquid with the bomb down 3-on-3. Simple taking shots, and wow, Stewie goes for the jump, but Simple shuts that down with the Tech-9 close quarters.
I don't know if I've seen someone get that shut down going for a jump peek before. Stewie2K just got ripped apart, and it's just Liquid reading Cloud9 like a book at this point. I feel like literally they're always finding the gap in Cloud9's defense. That round, you see Cloud9 making an adjustment to put Skadoodle on a more permanent basis in the CT spawn, and even have nothing kind of drift more towards middle, which leaves Catwalk open because Shroud and Freak kind of focused on keeping long A control. And what do you know? Liquid slipped pretty much everyone through Catwalk, 4 players, and Hiko comes out late long. So, I mean, they're just always finding the opening here.
Has Liquid even really gone middle? I think Hiko's hit it late a couple times, but
they've
like,
gone mid B up twice.
Mid B
twice.
Okay,
yeah.
So they did do it twice.
Yeah, that's
but
why
they had the
that
heavier
tactical
force
pause.
at tunnels still, both times.
Yeah, that's true. Double op set up now, though, for Cloud9, so they finally are going to that. I feel that's actually kind of their last option. This is like the last page in their playbook, I feel like.
Well, let's see if it comes in favor. So far, so good. They've crossed Stewie2K with the op inside the B bomb side, manages to come out of that unscathed. Nitro's waiting around the corner and wins that fight against Freakazoid, who is trying to push all the way up towards that palm tree, or it barrels now. But at least Nitro is down to 12 HP. Kusta's going to move up to try to get some information right now, but at this point, it's going to be a stalemate, very static play for Cloud9. They're going to leave middle open, they're going to leave Catwalk open, so they're going to focus more on that long and B hold, and then, once again, leave A site for a retake.
Freakazoid seems happy.
Yeah.
Here's Shroud in the pit. He's the man to make the play right now. Does take a dink onto our man Hiko. Throws a nade. I don't even... How does that dodge? Where did it even go? Skadoodle with the op. He's got to stand his ground, and he cannot do it. He gets one, but Kusta's right in there for that quick trade, and Team Liquid... We had Freakazoid going down early in the round. It was Nitro that took him out, and then Kusta gets 2 to open up long, and Team Liquid controlling all of the map. Telling Cloud9 to stay on their side.
Yeah, definitely, it's the kind of server where everybody else is doing well here for Team Liquid, except for Freakazoid, unfortunately. But really, the only one getting big frags right now for Cloud9 is Skadoodle, currently at 7. Freakazoid's 2 at TK, both at 3, and Shroud and Nothing, both at 2. On the other end, though, Eco coming up big in this half, at least, against Cloud9, and they're basically getting toyed with. At this point, you have so many of them with so much money, and that's why I'm surprised that they're not really trying to hunt him down. You do at least have Simple holding all the way back towards T-spawn if they're trying to exit out towards tunnels. But then again, finally they're trying to creep in slowly now, just outside by tunnel boxes. Or turtle boxes, rather.
Yo, I missed that call out so much.
Probably 80% of the people watching right now has no idea what I'm talking about with the turtle box, but Nothing trying to save his gun, gets the kill, and lands a second one, but Kusa comes out towards that window and ends that streak. So no weapons being held back for Cloud9. 10-0. And this is going to be interesting, because this would be probably like the second match that I cast in a week that I might see as 16-0.
I mean, the thing is, we saw Cloud9 just bully Selfless in the semifinals earlier today, where they had one-sided maps like this in both their games, and Cloud9 also bullied Optic on Cash. Now, all of a sudden, they're getting the treatment from Liquid right now, as they had to take kind of a save this round. Maybe they want to go for a double op again next time around, but just literally nothing that Cloud9 has done at Liquid's worth. They've tried now even pushing mid with Freakazoid that round. That didn't yield any results. So, I mean, just Liquid seems to have the answer to everything that Cloud9 sends their way. It's just a landslide victory right now for Liquid at this point.
You can kind of expect those blowouts, though, when it's like one of the biggest names in North America who are still definitely a good team, maybe not world-class at the moment, but to have like the 2 titans of North America in the finals here, right? South America got knocked out in this tournament, and you get to the finals, Cloud9 Team Liquid, to have 0 rounds at this point.
Uneventful.
Cloud9 better check themselves.
Before they wreck themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, they've looked good throughout this tournament. They look really good in the Optic best of 3. I don't know what's going on right now. They've had plenty of time to rest up for this game, too. Meanwhile, Liquid's been marathoning it all day, so I don't know what the excuse could be.
Oh, that flash doesn't really blind anybody there. They managed to get the kill, but then Nothing gets the nice counter flash, and then a frag onto Nitro. They're trying to stream across. CZ long range onto Simple. He is down, back behind the car. Elige then goes for the double kill, goes for a triple. Last one is going to be Shroud with a deagle onto Elige. It's a 2 versus 1. They still have yet to make it inside the bomb site. 30 seconds left on the clock. They smoke it out. Shroud's just going to spam it across, and he's going to try to look back. And then now... You know what? This is funny, because Nothing is casting while he's dead, pretty much... The last time I think this happened, when... What was it? What were we casting, Dust? We were casting something that was almost going to be a 16-0, and then the guys just pretty much gave up and started casting here. And we can kind of see that that's what's going on for Cloud9. Everything that they're trying is not working!
Oh, wow.
And to add insult to injury, Kusta wallbangs Shroud to make it now 11-0.
You know, this actually might be the most one-sided game we've seen this tournament. They're except for, I don't know, it might wind up being one of the most one-sided games. Let's hold off for a second. I think Cloud9's win against Optic on Cash was so far the worst, but this could be one to top it if this holds up. But the double set up back in effect for Cloud9. They're going to put a lot more emphasis on long at this time, but Freakazoid still gets caught. I don't know if they realize Shroud got in the pit, though, so maybe there's still some hope there, but they're already a man down. They're going to get aggressive in B tunnels with Stewie 2K's op.
Actually, this is something we saw Team Liquid do a lot, right? It was always Simple and Hiko. They'd push in just as far as Stewie is now, hold this angle, and never go any further. Just get some information into the tunnels, realizing, you know, there's not 5 people in there. You'd certainly see one if there were. You just had Elige, who was holding the steps, but is now going back over to Cat. Nitro, kind of throw down some flames, make sure no one's in those corners, and take the Cat control. So once more, it seems... I mean, Cloud9's best round, or one of the closest, was that last one, just because they had the flashes and the pistols over at B and they stacked it. But now, every time they've got A, it seems like Team Liquid is hitting the one part that Cloud9's not covering almost every single time.
Well,
It's
now
all
that,
on Skadoodle.
yeah, he's only able to
he's
get
one for
one
one.
shot. So quickly traded out by Simple. 4-on-3 situation. Crowd is inside the pit. As they are Cloud9, they are close enough to pray to the gods to get something done, but nothing more than that. Kusta ends it right away, and it's going to be a 3 versus 2. Nothing's on the elevator. Stopped by Kusta one more time. You guys thought that he was shaky. I thought he was shaky. Now he's going to sit down because he's able to frag. It's now 12-0 as Stewie2K falls down. And now this is where it's going to be fun times for Team Liquid. Time to go for a triple op setup. Wouldn't be surprised if Nitro even buys one as well. Elise has the auto sniper. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go.
Usually this is reserved for the last round of the half, but Liquid's at 16K basically, so they kind of... It'd be a waste of their money if they didn't do this, almost.
This is going to be sad. Nothing's down to 51. He's lucky.
Yeah, they drop all the snipers. They keep 3 AKs, and we are going to see that aggression from Cloud9 and get on the catwalk. See if this yields some better results this time around. But Elise, he's going to be posted up.
The whole team's posted up this time. Freak gets one, and he's like, all right, I'm falling back. I need to spot lower B, but Elige has come out, and he's got 2. Shroud tried to come in and help, saved Freakazoid, but don't save the dead in Counter-Strike. Here, Stewie's making a lot of noise. Hiko's not going to hear this. Going to get shot in the side of the head. Man advantage for Cloud9, but it evens up as Elige finds a 3rd kill, surviving on 4 HP. Nothing here in the lower B, and Skadoodle up on the catwalk, and a Team Liquid will once more go to A, and they'll find that path that is undefended.
Dude, the Polish power cow here, Elige, finding every trade frag this round to keep his team in it.
So Elige with that 7 HP still alive here. Does have the bomb on his back, and with Kusta as well. It is smoked out right now for Cloud9. They could go for a boost. No, they really can't, actually. They have nothing playing up on that catwalk. They have Skadoodle playing with the FAMAS towards the elevator side. So they will pretty much try to work together and hold this out, but still plenty of time to work with right now for Team Liquid. But at this point, as they're still holding towards long, you can see them slowly starting to commit towards this A side.
This
so can they
jumping.
hold it?
I don't know if Skadoodle... Yeah, Skadoodle did see Kusta. He's not going to jump again. He's going to go in. He's going to peek. Flash goes out, but Elige close on the wall. His second 4K of the match, I do believe, for him. And on 4 HP, it's all going to come down to it. This
Clutch
will be
ace?
the 3rd ace of the tournament here for Elige. Well, of the tournament. First for Elige. But nothing's going to take him down through the smoke.
First one's the hardest, Joey.
Cloud9 are on the board.
The dream's alive, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, the dream is dead.
I mean, the problem is if they get their money reset now, after they have to rebuy all these players, it could easily be 14-1, and that's almost just as bad as a 15-0. I mean, it's really not that much of a difference, to be honest. You're still dead if you lose pistol round, basically. So while they did finally get one, they need to immediately follow up. And look, they barely have anything to work with to do. They have a Maxim and the Scout in hand, and Liquid going for a B rush.
Huge one right now. Nothing's on that platform. He's burning right now. He's down to 69 HP. He's going for the screen with the M4 as well, and he gets nothing, literally. Skadoodle is in the door mid. Oh, sorry, door B. He's able to get the scout kill onto Kusta. Stewie2K at the window side, able to take down Hiko. Then, winning that fight, winning that fight at mid lurk. Nitro's now the last man with Simple. Simple made it outside B. He's about to come across and surprise Shroud or walk right into his crosshair. And it's now going to be 2 unanswered rounds with Cloud9 slowly gripping back. But they're pretty much at the bottom of the pit. They have a long way to claw up.
Just good sniping there from Stewie2K and Skadoodle to just kind of slow that thing down. I mean, Liquid got, overtaken pretty quickly. They look kind of dangerous, but they reel it back in. So Cloud9 are going to get a second round. They're going to avoid the reset, knowing sure that they have a full buy for the last round of the half. We'll see if Liquid is going to increase the lead even more, though. Nothing does get hit through the door, it looks like.
I mean, unfortunately for Cloud9, they win a round. They look pretty dominant in that one. Skadoodle with the Scout was crazy. He was tagging up everybody that they were crossing. Now let Stewie go into the window and get dangerous. Freakazoid, Cat aggressive again. I believe it's the 3rd time we've seen him do it, and honestly, the only successful time. He gets 2 kills just like that. Yeah, 3rd time is the charm. So it's Cloud9 with the man advantage here. 4 on the re, and Elige will go back to the upper tunnel, see what he can't do over there. Maintain some of that map control. They've got this in mid, and I believe it's Hiko on low HP, probably turned around watching anyone pushing through Longhouse. Cloud9, no need to make a play, right? At this point, just set up 2-2 on the sites.
So you do have there Skadoodle and Shroud at long, posted up on that crossfire. 2 guys inside B, that is going to be Stewie2K and nothing, so very default spots for them. Liquid looking to smoke out towards the left side, maybe. For them to try to take control of CT spawn. So Elige's about to walk out. At this point, it stays very calm. Counting on Kusa to see if anybody's going to push aggressively there. Sees nobody at the elevator, so it gives a chance for him to look back towards the window side. And 2K's waiting with the op. Gets a leg shot as he spots two guys there. Nothing, peeks out. Traded that back by Kusa as he takes down the leash. 2 versus 2. Op shot missed by Stewie 2K. Dropping inside the side is going to be Kusa. He goes spamming across, but does not connect. Steel doors of Dust 2 has changed things a little bit there. Now Kusta picking up the AK-47, making it down to a 2 versus 1. At the window side, Skadoodle continues with the spray, and they end the half 12-3.
Yeah, so Cloud9 won the last 3 rounds of the half to at least show us a little bit of life there at the end after a long, long road of destruction from Liquid. But, I mean, you got to wonder if it's a little bit too late now. I mean, if Liquid win pistol, this thing's still pretty much in the bag for them to take the map 1. Cloud9 need the pistol just for survival, really. Not even to really get into a comeback position, just to stay on Dust 2 for a little longer and hope to try to work towards something like that. So, still, I mean, Liquid looking very much in control of this game, despite the fact that Cloud9 did put a few rounds together there at the end.
Well, good luck to Cloud9 in the second half. Really. I mean, Freak kind of turned it around there a little bit. You heard him kind of pumping himself up on the mic. Well, you guys didn't, but we did. We have that luxury. It's quite nice.
What did he say?
He was just pumping himself up. We'll put it that way.
So 12-3 is our score, ladies and gentlemen. If you just tuned in, this is the grand finals between Team Liquid and Cloud9. If I'm not mistaken, though, there might still be 25 minutes left on the clock for you guys to enter the giveaway if possible. It is exclamation point giveaway to get more details. I know it's supposed to end on today's date, which I think is the 20th. And at that point, I'm still in Eastern Standard Time, so I have 25 minutes left on the clock if I wanted to enter the raffle. Of course I did. I want to get that HTC cell phone. Nonetheless, though, we're about to go live here on the second half. Team Liquid in the lead, 12. Cloud9 at 3. As looking at the spawns so far, they do have great spawns for B, for 3 players only, but Freakazoid is looking like he's aiming for that long A push.
I mean, he turned it around. The third time was the charm on that push on Cat there in the last round. He got 2 kills, so he could be ready to go with the entry fragging here on the T side, and that's exactly what he's going to want to bring to this team. Oof. And actually, throughout this tournament, it's been him and Stewie that have been doing a great job opening up the rounds.
That's right, Instagoosh and the second kill onto Nitro. And then he gets a third one right now on a Tukusta, so this guy is angry. You said it, he pumped himself up, he's going, he gets a 4K as they cross over towards this long A. One more to go, and it is going to be Hiko with the CZ. Nothing still lurking at 3 HP at mid double doors now. And now Hiko's going to try to move up. He spots Freakazoid right now. Freakazoid is still hunting, and that does not get the third ace of the series of this tournament. Hiko gets 2K, but that ends it there as Cloud9 puts 4 on the scoreboard. That's 4 rounds in a row here, Dust.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Maybe he didn't get the ace, but that quad kill combined with that cat push he had towards the end of the first half where he was able to put together a few frags, that gets him back in mentally, I feel like. I feel like now, you know, if it's going to happen, he can do it. I think his mind's in the right place now. In Cloud9, they have a lot of work to do to get back in this. They should be able to push this to 6 rounds, yes, but that still leaves them a lot of room they have to travel to actually tie this thing up. So, yeah, you know, just one step at a time, though, if you're Cloud9.
Step 1. Cut a hole in a box? That's step 1?
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
I
you
think
have to get a box
1,
first.
You're like a dream come true. 2, just want to be with you. 3, it's plain to see that you're the only one for me. Freakazoid trying to push up here, and it's traded out on that catwalk by the aggressive boost. But again, it is going to be Cloud9 taking an advantage there. A pistol save coming in for Liquid with the CZ, 5-7, and armor buy for a few of the players for Liquid. But a 1-minute advantage at the end of the day here, Helium.
Yeah, I mean, more than that, right? 1-man advantage, and look at this equipment value advantage. It's really not going to be too difficult for Cloud9. If they lose this, they might as well just forfeit Dust 2 and move on to Train. Hiko and Simple, still somewhat dangerous though with the CZ and the 5-7, see what they can do. Hiko here trying to conserve those bullets, go for the one-tap with the CZ, then gets a little loose with it. It is automatic after all, finds one headshot, he'll fade away into the smoke. Look for some more exits, maybe best case, he can take an AK into the next round.
Yeah, now the bomb is planted for Catwalk as well. So that's why Shroud's just going to be watching that flank and also not trying to overextend at the same time, just in case. But Hiko's making his way towards that area because that's where most of the action has happened at the beginning of the round. So he's going to try to look for a way to salvage a weapon. Clock is going to tick down, and at this point, that's going to be 5 unanswered rounds for Cloud9 trying to bring it back in this game. They're pretty much halfway outside the pit that they have to climb up. And Shroud gets that kill there onto Hiko. In a great way and good things to work so far for Cloud9.
Yeah, still waiting to see that opening ground and see whether or not Cloud9 could actually put this one together. At least they've turned it into a somewhat respectable score, but the next round is going to be the real test, as obviously Liquid have nothing really in this round at all. Pretty much a full save. We're not going to see even any upgraded pistol spot, so they're going to do a 5-man stack at the A long.
Got a flash. That could maybe be the death of Stewie. He's got a lot of backup, so it shouldn't get too dangerous. Oh, and Cloud9, they've got flashes as well. Everyone is quite blind for a little while, but once they get the eyesight back, it's a lot of CTs dying. But even for just a flash and USPs, taking away 2 kills is pretty decent for Team Liquid and a chance for maybe one more. But you saw that many people at long. Surely you check a car? Yeah, and Freakazoid will.
Here's going to be the opening gun round. This is where we're going to see how things are going to go from this point out, if Cloud9 can really bring it back in, as we're going to see a pretty similar default from Cloud9. I mean, this is one of those maps where pretty much everyone kind of plays it the same, at least the beginning approach, but Cloud9 definitely maybe a bit more prone to just go for heavy executes right off the bat than what we saw from Liquid in the first half. I don't know if they'll tone it down a bit and be a bit more cautious since they're so far behind, but you already see them going very heavy towards V-tunnels here with 4 players.
Cloud9 looking to get aggressive inside the B tunnels. That smoke is going to force them to fall back, though, as Freakazoid was trying to get an entry earlier on in there. Simple spraying across, as he does have that dual combo with Hiko inside B. Cloud9 will decide to fall back and work slowly towards this mid/cat control at the end of the day. But 6 unanswered rounds, things are looking good for Cloud9 as it continues from that first half with Freakazoid pumping himself up. Freakazoid still, at this time, couldn't get an entry towards the entrance of B. This time he'll try at mid, about to peek out, but he snapped just before the smoke bloomed, so Nitro's able to take him down. So the first one to fall, and a 1-minute advantage for Liquid.
Oh, and Hiko's going to get checked by Nothing Simple as well, and the back of the site comes up empty.
Whoa.
Nothing's doing Shroud, putting down the hurt on the Team Liquid. Bomb to be planted there by Skadoodle, and it'll be Kusta and Elige to back off and try to save this op and the M4A1S that they have over at long.
Yeah, it almost seemed like Simple tried to wait that out to see if he could line up more than one frag or something like that, and took too long and didn't even connect the shot and get the window player. If he would have done that, there might have still been a chance for Liquid to creep back into the round, but with him going down, so I mean, mid to B was kind of the thorn in Cloud9 side, and they're going to be able to dish that same damage over here to Liquid, and that's also true of what we saw in some of the other Dust 2 games for Liquid throughout this tournament, especially against TSM. That was something they really did struggle with, and it is one of the harder things to deal with, I think, in the map rotation, so we'll see if Cloud9 continues to exploit that throughout the half.
Oh, is Kusta going to die as well?
Yes, both weapons have now fallen. As Stu mops up the last 2 inside the long A pit, so no money to work with one more time for Team Liquid, and because they weren't able to save those 2 weapons, you won't see Liquid going on any type of forced buy if they wanted to gamble. Because we've seen it in the past where Simple was trying to hold B on his own with the scout and was good enough to hold a push against their opponents of CLG in the previous semifinal match. Now Elise is going to try to poke out. What a 1D there onto Freakazoid. Again, the first one to fall. So if it's not Simple dying first, it's Freakazoid dying first for either team. Simple at 3 HP, and Freakazoid does not accept that.
That's crazy. They had everyone for Team Liquid actually converging onto middle. But Elige is like, alright, I got that first kill. Then they all decided to back off, and they're just kind of playing close, setting up a little bit of control. But Cloud9 have busted on through to the other side. They've gone out the mid double doors. They've killed everyone out there. They've got Nitro, intercepted him as he pushes up Cat, and nothing to bring down Hiko. Only Freak going down. Got wrecked, but his team still wins the round.
Yeah, Liquid's now going to be back onto a buy, though, and we could definitely see the double out setup coming in now, as we do see Simple already purchasing one. Plenty of money for Kusa to grab one as well, so you'll definitely see, you know, Simple probably picking towards middle to begin with, but then usually goes towards B, and obviously Kusa is playing over towards the A side. And we are going to see Hiko jump across the bait at peak for Simple, but no one's going to be there. It's going to be that same 4-1 from Cloud9. They're looking to press in the B right away.
Scoodles at the entrance, though, is smoked out, flashed out as well, and pretty much the same thing that we saw 2 rounds ago when they were trying to get an early pick, but from that smoke they fall back just a bit, but they still ended up working towards that B side right after. That's why you see them creep back towards that lower B, getting ready to take control of this mid side, and Nitro once again is holding on the other side of the boxes of the CT spawn. Let's see if this will continue in favor of Cloud9 though. But nope, Simple gets the first kill with the AWP as he comes down to support Nitro first and comes back into B, so a little bit harder right now for Cloud9 to execute.
Simple couldn't decide what to jump on over there in the B site. Looks like he has gone back up to window. Hiko's still playing close by the smoke, and he's going to slide over, and it looks like nothing.
I think it was spotted.
Yeah, I think he had a bit of a sound cue or spotted it, so they'll drop the Molotovs, and Hiko is going to get roasted. Simple, though, from the platform, standing up, finding 2. Can he find a 3rd through the flames? No, he'll go down, and he'll be cremated.
Nice.
And that's nothing to get a second. Nitro at double doors will fall. And nice play there by Nothing, communicating that bomb drop down on 13 HP. It's going to be up to Shroud to do this, but they kind of squandered the opportunity to cross while the HE was kicking up that dust.
No nades left either.
Shroud and Nothing in the last 2 remaining 26 seconds left on the clock. And you can see they're going to wait to the final seconds in case it's going to be a rotation back towards the catwalk side. But Kusa is getting ready to op it, so he's in a great position right now to spot that cross. One flash. Spam across. Shroud gets the opener on that 2 versus 2. Now it's a 2 versus 1. They'll get the plant for tunnels. Kusa about to run in here. Flash is going to blind Nothing. Shroud spots him at the doors. Kusa getting ready. But they're both very low right now. Nice flash to bounce it out, but the crossfire is just too strong for Cloud9. And despite them losing a player at the beginning of the round, they still managed to make their way back thanks to Nothing's 3K. And it's now 9 unanswered rounds.
That's kind of a heartbreaker for Liquid, because, I mean, they started that off really well. Simple actually takes a way different approach than what we've seen most of this game, which he just actively peeks middle from the B side with the odds to get the opening kill, and then he finds 2 more inside the B bomb side, so it couldn't have really been a better start for Liquid on that round, but as you saw, Nothing and Shroud, they bring it back. 3 for Nothing, 2 for Shroud. They played that T1-2 to a T. Now they have Liquid back onto a force of just pistols, so they're actually clawing right back into this game. They're a couple of rounds away from having what I would say a legitimate chance to actually bring this thing back.
Something else, though, is a little more intricate there. Nothing actually went back into the B tunnels to loot someone's dead body, got a flash, and then that's what he threw that flash across the doors. True. That got it back to a 2-on-1 in their advantage. That was sick. So good heads-up play for him. And still 5-on-5, but Team Liquid, all they've got really are Deagles and P250s. 2 flashes for their own, but you expect Cloud9, the way they've started playing on this T side, which has been weak as of late, but we've already seen a comeback from them on Mirage they did it from the T side, and now here on Dust 2, comeback certainly is real.
Bomb is now going to get planted for the platform of A, a little bit more safe. Nothing still playing and holding that spawn spot. Simple trying to move down towards that lower B, setting up for exits. That's 2 unanswered kills in this round. Nothing still lurking towards the spawn. They know that for Liquid. That's why they're going to try to push through all together. Kusa's going to be able to get that kill. Do have... Skadoodle is going to try to look back here, but they might be able to salvage this AK-47 in the end because Kusa's grabbing it and booking it. Well, maybe not. He's looking back to support his teammates here towards long as they're looking for more exit kills. But Stu TK's already posted up here on the other side of the door. Another flash, but that's not going to blind anybody as they stream out. A 3-man crossfire pretty much. And 2 men down. That's Freakazoid with 3 kills in the end, but dying from the bomb.
And I'll actually point this out really quick. I'm not sure how this will settle, but for right now, Simple and Nitro have been Liquid's 2 best players throughout the tournament, both kind of struggling right now. Luckily, Elysian Hiko has still done pretty square. That's why Liquid's, remained ahead, but that is kind of a problem. And so Simple actually had a big 3K last time he had an op in his hands. We'll see if he can kind of keep that up. They're going to boost Nitro this time in CT spawn, so now he might catch Cloud9 off guard with this. The first time this happens, it's not something that I don't think Cloud9's really been paying attention to. So if they go back to a mid-B, Nitro has a chance to kind of shut it down single-handedly, and that could be how Liquid finally breaks Cloud9 in this half.
You saw pretty much there that young Stu had the spawn to try to pick towards that long, and as he missed it from being flashed that long, came back and dropped it back for Skadoodle. So basic weapons right now for Cloud9 in terms of what they're comfortable with. I don't know what you wanted to add here, Joey.
Oh, just playing it super slow, right? They're waiting on the aggression here from Team Liquid. They got 4 people out there outside of the longhouse. I like to call it the playground here for the terrorists. Just waiting, biding their time.
Swamp Kusta and Simple. Like positionally, at least. Maybe Simple want to try to see if he can make a play on the A-bomb site with an op this time.
Yeah, it could be Simple saying, hey guys, A's weak. Well, let me go there. I'm going to make the difference. And it's actually Kusta that comes away with the first kill. He was, again, that kind of aggressive angle looking into the upper tunnels, and he's brought down Nothing, who was lurking there.
Good shot to start. Skadoodle's about to get that battle with Kusta. Who's about to peek out. He misses the shot. Kusta does the same. But at least the information is given to get ready to execute towards this A-bomb site. Simple is fully flash. Connects with the second one onto Freakazoid. As now Simple is trying to creep back up. Misses that one there, but Nitro is there to support on the elevator. Gets a spray for a 2K. But then retaliate back by Stewie. He's now the last man standing. Was against a 5 versus 1. Now it's a 4 versus 1. Make that a 3. Nice headshot onto Elige. Looking for that bomb. And Simple is just waiting there. And Kusta as well. Yeah, you hear their footsteps. So it's 2 guys at the elevator. 1 guy at long. Bomb is now going to get planted. And can Stewie get something more than that? Gets the 3rd spray here. But then Hiko stops that. And Stewie 2K made a 3K. But not more. As Liquid finally puts a point on the scoreboard. But could be in a situation where they could get their money reset here, Dust.
That's literally true. They have to rebuy 3 players. Luckily, they're going to save both the ops. So that does save the cash a little bit. But yeah, they finally broke Cloud9. The ops coming through. It's actually Kusa got the opening kill on a B tunnels push, but Simple also doing really well defending against that cat crossing. And then Nitro had a great rotate through CT spawn. And the other thing is they didn't actually catch that he was boosted, so they can just do that again and still be set up for a mid B defense.
Ooh. Well, I was surprised that didn't do damage. Looked like he would have connected, and now it appeared that he was going to line up that Xbox smoke so that they could get up Catwalk pretty quickly, which is very, very ripe for the taking right now. 2 situated at long for Team Liquid. Now Nitro will have dropped back. We saw him doing quite a bit of damage from that CT slope during that last take onto A. Had 2K, nearly got 3K. It would have been insane if he transferred that spray over. And now Simple also going to be forced to move. Everyone kind of starting to slide back over towards this A site.
Well, Skadoodle gets the opener at mid-side. Kusta, one of the operas, has fallen down. They still have one in the hands of Simple. He's opening it back towards that playmaker to watch that catwalk side, where he actually made a lot of trouble with Nitro as a support on the elevator side. With them trying to set up now towards this catwalk, could be a fake to start. They flash out towards mid first, but the bomb is slowly creeping up here. So I don't know if that fake for them to control that mid to B right after. We'll soon see.
Everyone on Cat. Stewie and Freak are here. They're going to be the ones to go, actually, possibly through the smoke, maybe wait for it. Got a really, really high bouncing smoke to go down at the long cross, I believe it was. And here they go. Freak and Stewie both jumping in. 2 CT. They've taken out Nitro. Simple is there. And he'll be able to get 1, but Skadoodle still up on the catwalk. His 2nd kill of the round and is there for the trade. Now just Hiko and Elige. Bomb going down. Elige deep, deep in the pit. And Hiko coming out of CT right now. For an angle. I don't think anyone's going to give him one. Can Hiko throw anything up at quad box? No, he cannot. Just has a kit. Elige 1 flash, but from his position at long, I'm not sure it'll be that helpful. He is moving up now. Hiko and Elige retaking this together. Nothing up on catwalk. Skadoodle still at that quad box, and he's not down. He's straight up in the open, and yeah, they did end up finding a Molotov. Were able to throw it over that way, and now Nothing on a 12 HP. Elige has got that kill. He's just got to cover his friend. Get in front and block those bullets, and then okay, Elige will get the kill, and then it's defused.
I gotta say sorry, Dust, but before I pass on to you, but I don't know what Shroud was doing. He never cleared out that pit, so he thought that nobody was in there. He was watching that flank on that catwalk side, and then pulled all the way back towards T-spawn, thinking that there was people that was going to be on that rotation from that catwalk side. So it was basically a 2 versus 2.
It was almost like Shroud was trying to play the long con, like they'll totally think I'm Cat because we planted for Cat, so I'm just going to sneak behind long and they'll never suspect me, but he just didn't get there nearly fast enough, and his teammate died, so it didn't really give him the chance to get in there.
It wasn't planted for him though either, right? So...
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, I realized that. I think he was still trying to see if he could be sneaky though and get behind them. It's just, you know, his teammate died really early into that maneuver, and so he didn't have nearly enough time to actually make that flank possible. And so Liquid are able to come up with it. That was actually a big win. Wasn't that a 2v4? So, I mean, that's playing from behind really well there from Liquid.
Gau's trying, man. He'll give him a first kill once again here into round 25. As Cloud9 are actually going to have depleted their money. Both teams in danger of being reset, more or less, off of a loss here in round 25. Cloud9 will keep it slow, though.
That's for sure. And now it's still we still have Nitro playing towards the A ramp. He did it before. That nade's going to put Skadoodle down to 22. He was already down low before. But that nade didn't really damage him that much. But Molly right now towards the A bomb site. Nitro's going to keep cool behind the bomb box. He's going to drop for a spawn again. It's worked before. And they're going to try to pinch and overpower Hiko at mid side. So they're going to go for a mid to B at the end of the day. And nothing is looking for the entry. Simple's there, crossfire with Hiko. Simple with the op shot from the platform onto Skadoodle, so the opera is down, and as the smoke dissipates, Nitro's trying to move in, and does have support from Elige, and they're all getting dropped one by one. It's a 2 versus 1 to end things up, and nothing is the man alive to try to clutch it. Simple over the back of the site. Nothing goes for that spray, gets the second kill, and he does manage to get that clutch and save that AWP, and put maybe more or less, as you mentioned, Joey, that save round maybe for Team Liquid. But Dust, your thoughts on that last round?
What a play from nothing, right? I mean, Liquid had that in the bag. That mid to B was taking so long to develop, and because of that, you saw that Simple and Hiko, they never really got pressured. They could just kind of hold their angles, and Simple was delivering what they out there. I mean, that was another... That time was like a 4-on-2 situation in favor of Liquid, that Cloud9 win. So both teams here drop rounds simultaneously, where the other, you know, was the clear one in a disadvantage. So... It's keeping it a close game, but if this keeps edging like this, Liquid, they had that 3-round lead, so it needs to be Cloud9, you know, getting back to a big winning streak to tie this thing up.
All right, nothing inspired off of his performance there at the end of that last one. Does grab the first kill. Team Liquid still somewhat armed and dangerous, but certainly not a good round for them. Talked about that economy getting reset. It wasn't a full reset, but it puts them to a half by force by situation. And this can let Cloud9, or can it? I'm going to say regain some ground, but Elige, he put Shroud in a grave.
1 minute advantage, but they're pushing through towards this mid double doors. Kusta waiting for them just around the corner. Skadoodle watching that spawn as well. Now Simple...
That's the bomb.
Yep, is going to be the last man standing. They still have smokes and stuff to work with to try to take control and pick up the bomb at least. But Simple is in a great spot to watch it. Creeping down slowly towards the CT spawn. Op shot takes him down. Not even waiting for that smoke.
First?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why?
But at least the bomb's picked up. It's a 2 versus 1. They're moving inside that window, but Simple can walk through. Misses the op shot, unfortunate there, so that gives a chance for Skadoodle to move in and get the bomb plant.
That probably would have been the round, right? If he gets out that smoke, kills Skadoodle, who had that bomb, would have forced the other player to re-aggress outside of B. Ooh, that's an NA flash. That's an NA flash.
Yeah. Kusta and Simple has switched roles. Kusta's throwing the EU
wait.
ones, Simple
that was
throwing
the
the
EU
NA
flash.
ones.
Excuse me, I forgot.
Yeah, he is from the EU.
Well, CIS flash.
Yeah.
If you want to get real technical.
I mean,
Yeah,
you can see what he was going for there, just didn't quite hit it. And that would have been crazy for him to come up with it anyhow. He knew he might as well go for it. They were going to be on a full set this round no matter what, so I guess figure you go for the 1v2 rather than just hold an op and just have a bunch of USP starting an op in the next round. Just didn't pan out for him there. He definitely made that dangerous though. I mean, whenever they try to bring that bomb through mid, you know, with CT spawn completely wide open, no smoke on, that was really risky, and that almost gave Simple the round, but not quite. And so here you have Cloud9 building it back up. They've won a couple of rounds in a row. They're just a couple of rounds away from tying this thing up, and they'll likely grab this one. So this is actually turned into quite a close game. And who would have thunk it when you saw at one point Liquid was up 12-0?
Yeah, it's still closer to the wire for Liquid at least.
Faith.
Oh, okay.
For the 8-7 half. Didn't
Let's
happen.
play that card. Let's play that card.
That's true. He did call 8-7. So there was some faith.
So Skadoodle is looking to take control of this long. 2 mollies as well, but the USP boost still manages to get the headshot in. Freakazoid burning one, getting a kill.
Oh, no.
Skadoodle with the op shot, headshot onto Freakazoid. It was at least a nice shot. 3K for Freakazoid, but his streak is ended by his teammate. So a 3 versus 2. Cloud9 look back to cross in this area, but you do have Kusa just lurking through there.
That was pretty sick read with the double mollies. And yeah, it does. You say it does. Oh no, it's actually turned into a 2-on-2. And Kusa really had a chance there to get another kill. Simple with the op is able to grab one. Now it's Simple versus Shroud. Bomb is down, and Simple, is he readjusting to go cat?
What is going
Or is
on?
he just... Oh, bomb is not down. Excuse me. I thought it was planted when I looked at the radar. He'll arm it now. It's been planted. And Simple is able to now go up at the catwalk. Will this be expected? Shroud's going to go into CT. Actually not even quite committing to that as he's heard the footsteps. He knows that Simple's up there on catwalk. Just comes down to the shot right now.
This is gonna be insane. Shroud is on that elevator, and I like how he's planning it to make it look like he's planning for
long
an elevator side. Yeah, long, but Shroud is just holding back at the bottom. The head spotted, but Shroud manages to get the kill at the end of the day. But that was close. I gotta stop saying that too.
I mean, that was a full USP save from Team Liquid, and they got 4 kills. So, I mean, that got real scary for Cloud9. It's a great flank from Simple at long A. Really caught him off guard, and he almost had a chance to win another round. And that's just Simple being a playmaker. We talked about how he was kind of struggling this game, but now he's made some big plays. He's starting to get up there. And I mean, you figure one of those is going to give eventually, and Simple is going to win a round like that, you know? Maybe not this map, but it'll happen at some point this series, and that could be the big difference.
Elige taking long control very aggressively here for Team Liquid. Just that one round separating the teams now. It was, well, as it stands, it's Cloud9 who actually have won more CT rounds thus far. They've got 3. Team Liquid have only managed to put together 2. And they need, of course, 2 more to close this out. Round 28 is going to be a decent one for both teams in terms of rifles and nades. Everything available to them here. And no kits would be the only thing, so Team Liquid will have to be good on the defense or quick on the retakes. Smoke going to go up on cap, but that one kind of left a bit of a gap. Cloud9 still with a ton of time to work with. Will be putting 4 on the catwalk, and it will be Shroud, the lone man, it looks like, to do the dance over at long. Or not. He's still just watching it, not even going to commit and push through. Doodle trying to open up this A site with that op, seeing nothing, and well, that's because there's nothing to see. No one is on this site, and they know that no one's behind the site boxes because they did use a Molotov for that. It's Team Liquid with this long defense. So it's going to be one heck of a retake, possibly even 5 versus 5.
Yeah.
Looking forward to this here, but that's going to be... I think they're planning at that spot that was their demise as well. Pretty much be... Okay, no, it's kind of a little bit better for Cat this time too. But you do have a couple of CTs inside the CT spawn getting ready to move up, and that's 3 players there. Freakazoid spots 2 of them, and that's both Nitro and Simple. Hiko's also inside that CT spawn. And here comes Nitro with the first kill. They're going to work. They're moving up that elevator side. Op shot by Skadoodle, taking out Nitro. It's a 3 versus 2. That clock is still taking on the bomb. Molly onto the bomb side as well, and that could be huge for them so far. Nate touchdown onto a lead, then Shroud, and Skadoodle going to work to hold that right after. So we're tied up, ladies and gentlemen, 14-14. What we thought was pretty much a one-sided matchup. We now have a game on this first map.
Yeah, it's really hard to dedicate to long A so heavy like that when you don't have an op to watch the cat cross. I mean, that's actually a really big problem. I think it's actually why Kusa elected to just go play long A and give up cat, because he didn't really have the proper gun to defend it. You know Skadoodle's got an op posted up over there, so I almost feel like that was just kind of the lesser of 2 evils choice he had to make. But the problem is you're still giving up the A-bombs and you're having to put yourself in a 5-on-5 retake, and Liquid only had, I think, 2 flashes to go on that retake with, so just not enough to work with. Cloud9, they do tie up the game. Now Liquid just on pistols, and Cloud9 going to go for Matt Point.
Yeah, Shroud with 2, and who would have thought? Cloud9 getting to that match point first. Nitro, man, he's trying to get that kill. Who was the one on Cat, actually, that he was even fighting? It was Nitro, or sorry, Nitro was on Cat. It was Stewie2K that he was fighting, who's now fallen back over to long. Nitro tried to give that chase, but they're just going to miss each other. Nitro kind of started to doubt himself. He will find an AK, but he's got no armor. It'll be hard to really do anything. He'll forfeit the round, save the gun, and looking at the money, he's got what has he got? $3,600 on him right now. Their money's going to be okay as long as he can survive. But you can see Freakazoid is already here, checking everything. That Molotov's going to actually delay himself a little bit. Nitro, though, he's throwing a flash. Now they know exactly what's up. He's in pit. They probably knew that anyway. It's such a common spot. Can they kill him? Do they have the time? It's a massive kill if they get it, and they do. Nothing finds it. You saw Nitro. He was fighting that aim punch with everything he had, but it wasn't enough.
So it's all going to come down to this, right? Liquid has to win this to put this in OT. If not, Cloud9 will have made a massive comeback. They were down 3-12, and they come back with their own on the T side. That might just be a bit better than Liquid's, which would be just enough to get them this map, as we do see them again going very heavy towards the B-Tones to start off this round. Smoke going to come up, though, slow it down a little bit.
That nade from Skadoodle showing why he is the opper. Trying to do something over here at B. We got Hiko playing close up to the smoke, and we got Simple back on the platform. Seen this setup quite a bit, and I think it is pretty easy to read Liquid. You always know that Hiko and Simple are going to be here, so it's Cloud9's decision to face that as Kusta has come away. I think that was aggressive off Cat to get the first pick of the round, so Team Liquid, man advantage. Possibly able to force this one into OT, but Shroud and Freakazoid have got out middle. Pretty much uncontested. Are the rotations from Liquid going to come fast enough? Kusta pushing that smoke at CT. And yeah, he will find Shroud. Freakazoid goes through the doors. He'll open up onto Hiko. Simple on the back of the platform. Still coming away with frags. Now Freak and Skadoodle able to cross. Or is he a Liege going in? He peeks in. He sees everything and he hits the shot. Kusta with big 3 kills on the round. And it's OT number 1 here on map 1 in the grand finals.
Unreal, man. Definitely didn't see this thing going into overtime based on what we saw in the first half. But Cloud9, they clawed their way back into the game. Great work out of Scooter with the op. I mean, that 4 guys at 20 frags in the end of regulation over there on Cloud9. And then, you know, Stewie 2K still sitting there in the high teens. And the frag distribution on the guys over at Liquid's kind of similar. I mean, they got 2 guys just below 20. And it's kind of Nitro who's actually been struggling this game. And he is kind of one of those mid-B defenders for that team. That's actually an area of the map that both teams exploit on their T side a lot. So, yeah, I mean, here we sit 15-15, both teams having monstrous T sides in regulation. And now we have to figure this thing out in extra rounds.
Yeah, and you can you mentioned Stewie just at 17 kills. That's not great. And when we were doing the pregame show, when we were looking at the first kill percentages, it was Stewie. I think it was like 18% or something. So he was doing a great job of getting those first kills. In this game, he has 0. Freakazoid, though, picking up the slack. He's got 6 first kills. And, I mean, if they win this thing overall throughout this best of 3 and Freakazoid keeps performing like he is, he will honestly be the player of the tournament.
Very true.
As we wait for Team Liquid to ready up, it looks like they're talking some things over, as they are the ones who have more recently had the very bad CT side. So we'll tell you about something else, something for you, the viewer, the global giveaway, as iBUYPOWER is trying to throw you some free swag. You can catch the URL there. It's on your screen. Visit that and enter. It does end today. So sign up now. Get in there. Get in there last and win it.
Technically, today is over.
Yeah,
ago, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe
they're on West Coast time.
Check it out.
To be honest, Vansili's gonna win.
The only raffle I've ever won in my life was maybe about 2 months ago, where I won Sivo Kevin's knife giveaway.
Rigged, obviously.
Yeah, so it looks like it is on Eastern or Pacific time. So we do have 2 more hours, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you guys check it out. Exclamation point giveaway. Thank you to the sponsors as well for iBUYPOWER. We have NZXT, Microsoft Corsair, HTC, Intel, Newegg, Western Digital, NVIDIA, and MSI that brought you guys all this action throughout this whole weekend. Also, a way to promote North American Counter-Strike. Big thank you for iBUYPOWER for putting this tournament together. These guys are actually playing for $10,000 for first place. Sorry, whoever loses this one has been guaranteed a $4,000 prize for the team. So a huge gap between first place and second. So these guys are still battling it out. But overtime, good way to start things off. And again, we weren't really expecting that from a 12-0 deficit from Liquid, or for Liquid. Cloud9 made it out of the pit and are looking to ascend all the way up to their respective Cloud9 location.
Say to the clouds?
Yes,
by
winning
cloud.
This first map. So this is Team Liquid's map choice as well. So to see them come back and bring this into overtime, could possibly hurt the morale. As again, when we've mentioned it, we had players that were a bit silent, and it was basically that simple player who's been on fire this whole tournament. But Nitro actually started coming back a little bit there towards the end of that second half. But they have to continue that on as the overtime is about to go live here.
And I mean, I feel like Cloud9's one that has the mental high right now. They're the ones who just made the comeback. They feel like they're in this game. It's Liquid who let a big lead slip. I mean, I feel like the pressure is a little bit more on them.
I'd agree to that. And it's Team Liquid who has to remain on the CT side, which has been the big problem for both of these teams. Aggression off account for Liquid. They've actually pushed 2 players forward. Simple to miss that first shot, and now without sniper support is Nitro. He still is able to come away with that first kill. He also has spotted the bomb. Not really a surprise to see the bomb there this early in the round, and not a position he can really hold. So he's going to fall back. Player posted up in dark was Skadoodle, but it doesn't have the angle to hit the shot. Doesn't even see the man as he falls back.
Simple this whole time has been holding up on that catwalk, though, with that AWP. So despite Elige and Nitro pushing out first, as they fall back, you still have an Opera holding their grounds and watching their backs. And as they're looking back towards lower B, nothing is waiting there.
Oh, I really like the way he threw that smoke to bounce it up on Xbox. That was cool.
Yeah. Gives him
For
a
anyone
chance
that
to lurk
noticed.
up.
Well, just even the way he threw it. He bounced it off like the little, where it kind of, as the arch goes up, it juts out a little bit.
But nothing's about to get backstabbed here by Hiko. Hiko even
Literally?
looking for a knife kill. Oh! He gets the right click onto Hiko at least.
What if he would actually kill Hiko there?
Are going to try to work back towards this long A. So the bomb on the back of Freakazoid, they're looking to cross, but they still have one guy to hold up towards the quad side, and I think that's Elige. Indeed he is. Nitro also play on the catwalk. 20 seconds off on the clock. Simple gets that shot and the kill onto Shroud. Misses the second one. It's Skadoodle. Gets the kill landing on his feet. 3 versus 1. Bomb is planted. Gets the no-scope there onto Elige. Gets the leg shot onto Nitro. Misses that second one. Trying to go for the P2K. Picks up the M4. But as he peeks out, Nitro's waiting for them the whole time. Just pulls it like a pillar. And just waited for his head to peek out. And Team Liquid wins that first round of OT.
Nice try there from Skadoodle. He was definitely doing a lot of damage at close range to try to pull that one out, but just came short. He was also good throughout the round. He found 3 kills on it, but Hiko being able to catch that kill onto nothing, that was pretty massive. And then just the rest of Liquid holding up, and they will take the first round of OT.
I'm pretty upset that Hiko didn't have his knife out. Then it would have just been straight up a knife battle there over at B. That would have been sick. And it was unfortunate that Skadoodle hit that other no-scope, but it was to the leg, so it didn't kill the player and didn't give him a 1 versus 1. That would have been very, very interesting to see what he would have done. And overall, Skadoodle's looked pretty great, and here he is. First kill of this round with an AK. Team Liquid, though, setting the pace, and finding that first CT round in OT might be all it takes, based on how regulation went.
Bomb is not planted at least, and nice job by Shroud to watch that flank. He was able to get catch 1, and then they kill one on the outside at Turtle Box. Akusta falls. Nothing's just around the corner. They're not really checking that left side. Nitro and Simple, the last 2 guys remaining here, trying to creep up. As they come out, Nothing gets the first one, and then Stewie2K chimes in with the last kill onto Simple. It is now 16-16. Team Ace, indeed, moving into the last round of the first half.
And it's kind of crazy that that's actually the first straight-up B-Tunnels rush we've seen all game, I'm pretty sure. And it just so happens to be the one round where Liquid only has Hiko inside B because they're trying to make a play somewhere else on the map. And so it's just kind of like one of those unfortunate timings of when a tactic was called and it just favors Cloud9 so heavily. It looks like they're going to do it again. All right.
All right, it's up to Hiko. He's very blind, but the counter flashes have been good. He peeks a little too far, and Stewie2K is able to get the shot. Simple evens it up, making it 4-on-4, and he's going to push straight on through. He's got no fear.
Oh my God.
No scope onto Stewie. There's Freakazoid backing up young Stu. He avenges that death. Nitro's also moved on in, trying to do something, taking down Freakazoid off at the platform. Shroud still here behind the smoke, and now all alone as Kusta will op him out, and it's Liquid to get 2 of the 3 rounds on their CT side in OT. Very unlike regulation.
I am pretty sure that Simple is 3 feet taller when he sits down than when he stands up.
I get it.
Yeah, I mean, the guy just has, like you said, no fear. Just boulders for Stones. Just goes up there with the op, and that kill he got had a huge impact on letting that retake happen. It bought time. They were so worried about him making crazy plays in the smoke, and he gets a kill actually, and that gives his team time to set up for the retake a little bit better. So a lot of things came into one, and normally we would be sitting here just totally, you know, bashing the guy for trying to make a play like that, just being so reckless and not waiting for his team to retake. But Simple time and time again does things like that just shouldn't happen, shouldn't work, and he makes it work.
On the other end, though, Cloud9, they threw 3 mollies at the window. So they had 3 guys really focus on that window, trying to get in after getting that first kill onto Hiko, instead of trying to split out a little bit more and then try to take control of that side a little bit better. That retake for Team Liquid at the same time, I saw nothing but that flash icon on the top of the heads of Cloud9 that whole single round. What a play for Team Liquid for that retake at the end.
I mean, great use of flashes for both teams in that last round. Now we get to flip it over and see what Cloud9 can do. I called it out kind of early for Cloud9. It seems like even in the rounds they were able to keep close, like 3-on-3 or 2-on-2. They were always lacking in the utility or having a kit to go in for those retakes, and they opted to save the guns instead. That's not going to be a problem in OT, at least for the first 2 rounds, and that can maybe be the difference. Double Op's also going to get involved earlier for them, and it's Skadoodle with a nice boost off Catwalk, missing his first shot, and maybe even lucky to be alive. He did take some damage there. I think he took an op shot through the wall from Simple.
So they're creeping up right now for Team Liquid. They do have that 1-point lead in this first OT. Very passive plays right now for the CTs as a crossfire is set up on Catwalk with riflers. Stewie is going to be pretty much by himself with the AWP, so standard positioning at least for Stewie 2K and for Nothing. Getting that op in the back of the site, Nothing playing close doors so he could lurk around towards mid at the same time. But here comes that smoke on the left side again where they're going to try to control towards the CT spawn. So Freakazoid's out in the open. This is going to be huge for Kusa right now. Maybe an easy pick indeed it's going to be. And on top of that, Freakazoid switched a weapon a little bit too late, so he's going to hate that. Nothing lines up too, though. Gets the first one, does not manage to spray onto the second one. As it leaves that turtle bar. Shroud about to flank him. Easily done. 2 guys inside the site. It's a 2 versus 2 as Team Liquid has taken that over. Shroud and Skadoodle against Hiko and Simple. Bomb is looking to get planted with success now. Flash coming through from both sides, but Simple gets the kill as he was unaffected by that flashbang.
Yeah, and Shroud completely affected by it. He was full blind from it.
And at one point, Simple was 10 and 15. The man's got 23 kills now. He's really come up big for this team in overtime and towards the end of regulation to ensure that they'd actually get here. And now they're actually just 1 round away from taking this map. And a map that seemed like it was theirs for the longest time, but then Cloud9 crept back in. But here at the very end of this overtime, Liquid are on the verge of finally doing it. They're going to get the tag on this 2E2K as well to kind of kickstart things in the right direction by doing some early damage. They are going to keep it slow. You can see Alicia's taking Simple spot in B tunnels, and this is because Simple's in playmaking mode right now. He's looking to do something with his second op.
Well, Skadoodle's gone for the same boost once more. Well, they be expecting it, and it seems like Alicia was pretty quick on the uptake there. Brought Skadoodle down to 22, and that boost effective 2 rounds in a row right now. And I like this. Oh, yeah, Skadoodle gets the kill, so both are able to fall back. Kind of like the way Freakazoid was playing that with Skadoodle, though. He was going to be the one to maybe bait them up. They'll fall back. They found that first kill, and they can play it 5-on-4, just defend those sites. Team Liquid now looking to move around, and it's going to be Nitro and Kusta taking point out middle. Kusta with his op, and Nitro watching over on the B side. Meanwhile, in the tunnels, it's Elysian Hiko with that bomb.
Shroud is actually boosted up inside CT spawn right after that, but they're about to stream through. Nothing, and Stewie 2K will have to try to hold it. At least they have rifles, but Shroud one more time on that CT spawn. His spray works. He gets 2, and Nothing gets 2K stops that, and they're looking to bring this into a double overtime.
Liquid, man, dropping the round there. So now Cloud9, I mean, now each team's an equal distance away from their end goal. For Cloud9, it's hoping to get this into another overtime. For Liquid, trying to finally put this game away. They're going to give Simple the only op that they have. Again, just looking to see if he can make a play. He just goes for the mid pick, though, and he does hand it over to Kusta. So he's actually going to go more to his kind of traditional position now that they don't have that second op to work with. And just open up default again, as Liquid has been playing actually much slower than Cloud9 on most of their T rounds I've seen. So they're going to stick to that and see what they can't come up with. See what they can't draw up, because this is their last chance to win the map, at least for now.
Well, Skadoodle's given up on the boost over on Catwalk. He'll just play towards the long side of A, watching out in middle, so he's the support there. He's got to be the one to scout it out, tell Nothing what's going on. Nothing, meanwhile, is kind of set up with a very long-range crossfire out into middle, but it may not even come into an effect. As you can see, Elige taking point here on Cat, and most of Team Liquid behind him. So Skadoodle, the low man on the A site with the op, he will have to be hitting those shots if he wants to defend that. And if not, maybe it is Team Liquid who are, of course, on match point. Last round of OT1.
Now all 5 of them posted up here on this catwalk. So they earlier on had a 5-man push at long. This time it's going to be a 5-man push up on catwalk. Can Skadoodle hold it on his own? Fully flash right now. Drop it inside the CT spawn. It is going to be Liquid Elige, but nice pick by Nitro. Clearing out the A bomb site. Retake attempt for Cloud9 from long. Bomb planted for catwalk. Freakazoid spotting Kusta at long, who does get the kill on Fish Shroud just behind him. But this looks like it's going to be the map coming in favor for Team Liquid, dropping them all easily there on the pulse plant. But at least Cloud9 brought up a fight, and they brought their A-game on this first map at the end of the day. God, I got to stop saying that sentence. But a nice play there to start as we're getting ready for the second map on Train, boys.
Yeah, Liquid actually ends the game kind of the way that they started it, which was just this cat drop-down tactic with Elige going out there up the slope and just looking to open up the site, and they make it work there in the end. They actually limit Skadoodle's op, don't allow him to get anything on the cross, and they're finally able to put that one away. It took them a long time to do it, especially given the fact they had a 12-0 lead. You thought they were going to do it much earlier than this, but they still do get it done in overtime, and we're going to go on the train now. It's Cloud9's pick.
Yeah, so I said earlier on that I thought whoever took Dust 2 was going to take the series, and I said that more so because the third map was Cash, and I felt like that one was going to go the way of Team Liquid. And I thought if Cloud9 won Dust 2, they'd be able to 2-0 it on Train. I will still give Cloud9 the edge here, so expecting a full 3 maps, but we get over to Cash, back over to Liquid's proving grounds. It could be an interesting night. I mean, it's already been an interesting night with the way that Dust 2 went. Who would have expected that match to go into OT for anyone that tuned in at the point where it was 13-0 the worst 12-0 was the worst it got.
Yeah.
But even still, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think you're right. I think Cloud9 should be slightly favored theoretically when you think about past results and the fact they're a little bit more familiar with Train, but we did see Team Liquid be able to put up a substantial CT side on Train against CLG, and they didn't really have too much trouble closing out on their Terra side. You know, and they battled Optic pretty closely in our CEVO bracket, so they still do have some ability on Train. So certainly not out of the question that they could 2-0 this series, but I would hope that with Cloud9 kind of getting their minds right by kind of making that comeback and at least getting that map in overtime despite such a bad start, that they should, you know, have a good chance to make Train happen and get to a third map.
All right, guys, so one more time as we're waiting for the second map to start. It is going to be on D Train for the grand finals between Cloud9 and Team Liquid for the iBUYPOWER Spring Cup. Make sure you guys hit exclamation point giveaway for the final details, the final day for the raffles. Brought to you by iBUYPOWER and its sponsors. That is going to be open for another hour and a half, so make sure you guys put those raffle tickets in. And until then, we'll see you guys very soon on CEVO TV with Dust Murad.